Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
And we're back, man. Episode 335.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get right into it. Recently, a popular local page called Kern County Activities, they reposted an incident where two faculty members from different high schools got busted cheating in a parking lot. Mm-hmm. It's all the rage out here in Bakersfield, and it's unfortunate. And I think that what really signaled the whole thing is when the husband that busted his wife cheating put his hands in the air and was like, Kern County Activities. I'm like, this is not a football game, sir. Put your fucking hands down. But yeah, it's unfortunate. The people that end up on Kern County Activities are usually doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Right.
And the thing about this page, what I do like about it is it messy? Yes, it is a messy page, but these people are messy. And some of these people need to be exposed.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess there's a deeper story behind the female or the female faculty member where she used to shame girls that were bigger. She would say things that were inappropriate about other girls. Now, this is what they're saying. I'm not saying it. This is what has been said. And a lot of girls are coming forward saying they're glad that she got busted and knew of the relationship between these two going all the way back to 2011.
Dang.
Yeah. So, yeah, these teachers, man, they're humans. They're humans and they're humans and they're fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're teachers. They're teachers and they're screwing and they're fucking. Da-na-na-na. Give me a high five.
I would say, I just think that there are certain positions, and especially being in education, being in education or being a teacher, principal, dean, whatever, you kind of got to move like a politician of sorts. You know what I mean? Because everything you say or do can be used against you. You know what I mean? Like your being in education is almost like you can't be wilding on social media.
No.
You know, obviously it's outside of work, you know, but you can't be wilding on social media. There are, for the most part, you can't get fired or, you know, dismissed for things that you do outside of, you know, the schoolyard. But there are certain things that they just don't even want to be associated with. And for the most part, you can get fired at their discretion if they see something that they don't really like. So, you know, we talked about the teacher that had the OnlyFans, and now we're talking about these teachers that's just getting caught cheating.
Yeah.
So that's just the way. If these are just normal people, it might go viral, but it doesn't really matter. But when you start throwing around actual high school names, athletic directors and teachers and stuff like that, it's just a bad look. And you got to show back up to work the following day.
Man.
You know what I mean? You got to go back to school. When do we see that on? Like Thursday?
Yeah, this is
Thursday.
Recent,
yeah. So you got to show. I'm sure they might have took some time off, but you got to show back up to work on Monday, knowing that the students, all 2,000, 3,000 students at your school have seen that, and all 50, 60 plus coworkers have seen that as well. And that's just embarrassing, dog. So I don't know. The thing with me, especially kind of being new at this sort of job, is that I'm just trying to keep my nose clean. Even if you follow me on social media, you've seen that I've wiped everything pretty much clean. Like I don't really, even some of the hot takes, like, is pretty much wiped clean. Like we're obviously going to have a way to where we can still get our content out there, but it's just not going to be, in a way where the students and faculty just could randomly look up and see me going crazy. You know what I mean? So yeah. I just think that people, they just need to do a better job of just keeping their dick in their pants.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing too, man. I think that any job where there are men and women, it's happening. I think with them, their situation predated them being in school or whatever, right? However, just in general, whether it's high schools or I used to work at a call center back in the day, and that shit was wild. They might as well call it a fuck center because that's what was going on. There was this guy that I used to work with. I'll leave him nameless, but he got 2 women pregnant at the same time, and they had their baby around the same time.
Yeah.
And then he just ran away. He just ended up disappearing. He just left the whole state.
Oh, God dang.
Like this dude just busted 2 fat nuts and just ran off.
I don't want to be the person that's victim blaming, but there are consequences to sleeping with like niggas like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that it's a collaborative effort. It's a collaborative fuck up. And I think it's really easy to say like he's a piece of shit. I mean, he's not right for what he's doing, but you as a woman also have control. You cannot let a man like that sleep with you unprotected. That's irresponsible.
Yeah.
And any man that's having unprotected sex like that can't have people forget. Like there's this thing called HIV. There's this thing called HIV that you can get if you're like a child is the least of your worries. You can end up having some shit that you ain't supposed to have. But I don't want to stray too far. The point I'm trying to make is any job that has men and women on it, they're fucking. I'm sorry. And it's unfortunate. There's a lot of married men and women, and you would never think they're doing it, but they're absolutely doing it. Mm-hmm. And even when I was back in school, students knew of the affairs of the teachers back then.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 2002, 2003, and they already knew that the teacher was doing this with this person. And it's like, it's sad that now, if it was bad then, now you can't do anything.
But the thing about it is like people not really, they don't really care, which is the sad part. You know, if you cheating, obviously it's wrong. But if you cheating and a student know about it, like that's just terrible. You know what I mean? Because the students, they just living a normal life. It ain't like they doing like some crazy investigation on your life. They probably seeing you pull off and, you know, this teacher is a science teacher. This teacher is probably a PE teacher. Why are they hanging out so much? Like they not even in the same department.
Absolutely.
They classes is in completely different parts of the campus. But yeah, that's what it looked like. And the students be knowing.
Absolutely. And these kids are a huge part of they're a part of the TMZ culture, the overly sexualized internet culture. So they're going to be tapped into shit they have no business in. Mm-hmm. They're going to be like, Mrs. Baker, is it true that Mr. Smith is giving you back shots?
That's crazy.
And she'll be like, excuse me? How do you know what a back shot is? Like Brandon, if you don't mind your fucking business.
Brandon,
Brandon is like a freshman kid's name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I wonder how bad the teachers struggle with roll call the first day.
Yeah.
Because those names, man.
It's a lot. It's definitely. But what happens is depending on what school you teach at, what part of, at least in Bakersfield, what part of town you teach at, there are obviously some very ethnic names. So you might have some black names that is
Trakanye Henderson. Trakanye Henderson. You could call me Trey. Denisha Quintisha Manisha. Just call me Tish. Jose Vasquez Melendez Gutierrez Valdez. Here.
Yeah.
Bobby Meisenhower. Here, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you do also get the Middle Eastern names as well.
Oh man,
yeah, those are. I think I've been pronouncing some names like, for the most part, everyone's name is fair. Like I've heard it before, but there are a couple where I haven't really heard it before, and it's just kind of some consonants and vowels that don't normally go together.
Yeah, you don't want to mess somebody's name up.
Yeah, there's one kid that I'm like trucking through his name, barely getting it right, and I think he's like it's okay, because his name is hard to pronounce. But
the other teacher be like, Habibi Salami, Habibi Salami. He's like, no, it's Habibi. It's real specific.
You gotta use that back of your throat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You get like some Nigerian kid in there, just really gonna test your fucking skills. It's like, it's not can you slow it down and say that again, please? Are you here? That's all I need. Put your hand up if you're here.
Yeah. I would say some teachers don't care though.
Yeah.
You know, the way that they say to build a relationship with the kid is by at least knowing their name. So when the teacher is just like, you know, going through the roll sheet, they don't really care, you know, the person's name. They not trying to build no connections. Some teachers, they on the way out. They trying to retire. They got a retirement in 3 or 4 years, and they not worried about nothing but showing up to work so that they can get their retirement in a few years. But, yeah, got to get the kids' names right. But, yeah, I think back to the subject at hand, not much to say, but, yeah, it's just wild when you see essentially my, almost like colleagues of mine just out here wilding. And that's the nature of the beast. There are stories like this that you hear all the time between teachers. Some of it you hear just as hypothetical situations, but when you start to see it in black and white, it's like, dog. And the dad or the husband or whatever, he seemed like fed up. You know what I mean? Like he was just in the video, just kind of like, dang, this is what my life has come to. I'm out here with this camera, just catching my wife, and it's just a whole situation. So
Kern County activities. This guy's been fucking around with my wife for a while, and they met over there, and they were about to expel people, and his friend was like, "Come on, bud, that's enough. That's enough." But what killed me about when he yelled Kern County activities and he put both his hands up, he's like, "Kern County activities." It's like, bro, this is
celebrating it. Huh?
Yeah, this is not a Dallas Cowboy game, man. Put your motherfucking hands down. Oh crazy. Man, he's like, Kern County activities, we them boys. Bro, cut it out.
My wife has been getting the big D.
Go Big D. Give me a D. Oh man. I think he would be enthusiastic if he found out like his wife was fucking like a football player. Yeah. Like, I can't believe my wife was fucking Dak Prescott. You didn't give me any tickets or anything.
The Dak attack.
Dak attack my wife's crack. Oh man.
Yeah, I will say, just me and I'm like fresh to this whole education world, but I will say, you got to put forth a lot of effort to do what she was doing. Oh, yeah. Because obviously, like you were saying, when it comes to working in any capacity around the opposite sex, it's just high school, it's junior high, where everybody likes each other, people flirting and stuff like that. But I would say, from my experience, you're working the majority of the day, and you're not. There are some people that have like co-teachers, so that's a different situation. But for the most part, it's you sitting in a classroom with X amount of kids, 25, 30 kids every period. And then after that, you might have a meeting or two, and then you go home. So in order for you to be trying to orchestrate cheating and all that in between, like all the work that you have to do as, the athletic director or the teacher or whatever, it requires a lot. And, it's not, I'm just saying that the pussy is not just going to fall in your lap as a person that's an athletic director of a high school. You got way too much work to do. And that just means that you're putting forth that much work in order to orchestrate cheating, meeting up with somebody. And this is a week. They found each other I don't know when the video was filmed, but it looked like a weekday. This was probably fresh after work, or they might have left work a little bit early or something like that. And this is all happening on a weekday. So, yeah. I don't know. It's crazy world.
It takes a lot of effort to cheat, but people do it because it adds an element of excitement to their relationship. Mm-hmm. There was literally a person that I heard, it was on a podcast that talked about cheating and how it made her marriage better. And literally, and this is fucked up, by the way.
Yeah.
But she basically stated that she had grown bored with her relationship, and her cheating gave her a level of excitement, and it made her more enthusiastic towards her marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, this is absolutely terrible. But that's the psychology of somebody that would cheat.
Yeah. They had that show. It was a mini series. There was one with Jessica Biel, and then there was another one with Elizabeth Olsen. I forget the name of the lady. But basically, that was the scenario. They were in a small town in Wiley, Texas, I believe. And basically this girl had kind of grown tired and bored in her relationship. And, she decided to cheat with one of the people that she went to church with, and they were both married. And when they were starting to have this routine going where they would meet up at this hotel every week or whatever, or every day or whatever, he was saying stuff like that. Like, yeah, I think this is, helping me in my marriage. And I'm really growing to love her and grow more affinity for her. So I don't know. That sounds like some nonsense to me. But I think that,
to me, it it's a lack of discipline is all it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing else. You're tricking yourself into believing that you are providing something positive for your relationship, but you have to, if you're providing something positive, then you could be upfront about it, but you're not upfront because you don't want to hurt your wife or husband, but you have to trick yourself because you have to convince yourself you're not doing something bad.
Right.
So and all in all, you're really just a piece of shit, but
Pretty much,
you're tricking yourself into believing that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, that's got to be the worst thing ever, because the same person that you're supposed to trust with your life is taking a dick to the back of their throat.
Right.
And they coming home like, oh, baby, how you doing? And you kissing me with the same lips you wrapped around another man's cock.
Dang.
Think about that.
Got cock mouth.
Instead of cotton mouth, you got cock mouth. Get away from me, cock mouth. I want a divorce.
Right. Yeah.
Golly.
That's a sick world, man.
Yeah, it's a crazy time, man.
Sick world.
Crazy time.
Yeah. I hope she get everything she deserve. I hope he take all whatever that split looks like, you know, because a man a lot of times get the short end of the stick because they tend to make more money and different things
Not
like
with
that.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Or he got money from Giselle?
No, you hear what? Well, she tried to get 50% of like certain businesses and whatnot, but everything was in his mom's name.
Oh,
This is like a couple days ago.
Yeah, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm just saying, like, I just want it to be like, yeah, I just want, you know, just to get some equality amongst these divorces. So yeah, let's see what that does.
I know, I hear you, but that's the point I was making.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tom's divorce, his wife was trying to get some shit.
Yeah, but she make more money than him, doesn't she?
Look here, man. Here it goes. Let me just check it out. Is Tom Brady's property really under his mother's name? Exploring viral. Tom Brady is one of the biggest names in NFL, but today we explore whether Tom Brady's property is under his mother's name or not. 22 million, blah, blah, blah. This is not important. Okay. But today the big question is whether Tom Brady's property is under his mother's name or not. So just simply to answer that, there is a lack of evidence to confirm whether Brady's property is owned by his mother or not. Okay, hold on. However, many online sources have confirmed that Tom Brady owns many estates that are in his name, so these claims of his property being in his mother's name might be fake. Also, the guy is a freaking Tom Brady. He doesn't need to give property away to make his mama proud. Well, here's the thing. That's not the purpose, though. So here's the deal. Ultimately, people like P. Diddy had a lot of things in his mother's name as well. It's sometimes to protect yourself from things like that. But yeah. So it got dispelled then.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tom Brady. Like, you know, it takes a lot of work to try to put everything to have nothing in your name. But even with that, he has the TB12 thing going on.
Too much.
Obviously, his salary is public record. You know?
Absolutely.
So he can't do too much hiding in terms of
No, not at all.
putting stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, only thing he could do is run out the country, and there's no point for him to do that. That would be bad for his brand. So
Yeah.
he ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom, yo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's switch gears. Switching gears. Michael Rubin apologizes for comments on hate in the black culture. So here we go. Michael Rubin apologized for comments on hate in black culture after backlash from Schoolboy Q and more. Schoolboy Q was just like, what? Anyways, okay. When discussing a range of topics like admitting he banned Not Like Us, well, it's not that he banned it. He just didn't play it out of respect for Drake. To be played in the annual Independence Day party, the subject, Meek Mill's relationship with Diddy, and the harassment he received on social media came up. When I see the narrative of really good friend of mine like Meek, and people are trying to, again, if he was gay, which no one, where there's not a gay bone in his body, I like, you shouldn't say things like that, though. Like, you can't quantify gay. There's no levels of gay. You're gay or you're not. But to say he doesn't have a gay bone in his body, it's like, that's a little much. Right? Anyways, he said, no one cares. Who cares? And he says, number one, if people want to be gay, it's 2024. Who the fuck cares? Number two, there's not a gay bone in his body. So why do people want to lie about that? Why do people want to change the narrative or of a bet he made with me to hurt him, referring to a clip? Okay. That is one thing that I learned about. You know, look, I'm just being blunt because it's me. He continued, it's the thing I've learned about black culture that I don't like is that black hate on that it. Let me say this again. He continued, it's the one thing I've learned about black culture that I don't like is that black on black hate, right? Which is wild. Naturally, clip went viral on social media. He received backlash, but most notably from Schoolboy Q. End quote. Bruh, I'm cool on this app. This shit out of control, dog. The TDE rapper said out of the clip, he quote tweeted. He then sent out a series of tweets that's not such a thing as black on black anything. What the fuck? And then he deleted it. I think probably some people over at TDE had him take that shit down.
Yeah,
Who knows? I don't know. But anyways, this is what I'll say.
I will say with that article that it's not a great article because it's actually out of context. Mm-hmm. Like the Meek Mill and then the black on black hate those are not the black on black hate that he was talking about was in reference to Lil Baby. And then the Meek Mill conversation happened afterwards.
With the gay,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I just want to say that.
To merge it, though, he said basically the way that they hate on black people, hate on other black people, the black on black hate. But the reason why I think it was not only tone deaf, but it was irresponsible is because you don't have to be black to contribute to black culture at all, right? And I think that Michael Rubin has made some contributions to black culture, for sure. But let me say this, Michael Rubin. I'm looking right at you in the camera, and I hope you see this. You need to know when conversations don't include you, man. I think you're around a lot of black men that have reached the apex of success that have conversations. You feel involved, and then you feel like you could say something. But what if I use the same conversation about Jews? You wouldn't like that shit very much, would you? It'll be a problem. And matter of fact, Kanye said something ignorant about Jewish people, and he lost his deal with Adidas. Kyrie Irving posted a link, lost his deal with Nike. But you get to go on Breakfast Club and say this, and all you got to do is issue an apology. Do you understand the disparity of what just happened? You have two men who look like me that lost everything. And then you get up there and say this. Now, I'm not going to make a claim that Michael Rubin is racist, but tone deaf, absolutely. You spend all that time, right? Mind you, Michael Rubin is worth $11.5 billion, whatever it said, right? So you can't get that rich without, market research and understanding how businesses work and, doing deep research. So being around all these black people, you didn't do enough research to understand that you were out of pocket for saying that. It's certain things, like I grew up with a lot of Mexican people. They have their own nuances within their culture that I won't speak on. You know why? Because I'm a black man. And it's not that I'm too scared to say this or that. It just doesn't involve me. There are certain things that take place in other cultures that do not need your commentary. Another great example, I'm a man. So that's like me downplaying women's periods, right? I'm like, it's just part of being a woman. It's a period. It's not a big deal. Like, I'm speaking on something that I can't relate to. It's unnecessary conversation. You just need to know when something doesn't involve you. It doesn't mean you're being fake or that you're stifling something. You just need to know when it's unnecessary conversation. If he would have said what I don't like about hip hop culture, I don't got no problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. The issue I have is when you say black culture, because then it's an issue because black people are not monolithic. You spend more time around rich rappers. You're not around truck drivers and dentists and teachers and people and different people in black culture. So to say that, it's kind of irresponsible. Once again, I'm not putting a racist label on him, but goddamn, man, it's real lazy to say something like that. And you spend all that fucking time around black people. That's not good, Michael Rubin.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I think that this was it's just ignorant. There's not really, I don't think there's any excuse for it. But I will say that I think that this happens a lot of times when people get a microphone in front of them and they forget that they're talking on a microphone. He's probably not in a space where he communicates a lot via microphone. I think probably the majority of him communicating is person to person or, dealing with his employees and, talking to different board members and putting together parties and, talking to rappers and stuff like that. So I think that that's like the majority of his conversation. I think that a lot of people don't really know how to filter themselves on the microphone.
Absolutely.
And that's being shown more and more every day. Mm-hmm. There's some people that are very conscious of the things that they say. Like Eddie and I, we don't really very rarely have we said something where I was like, dang, I probably shouldn't have said that. You know, we're kind of putting our thoughts through this kind of self-filterization that we just kind of flow and we just let it rock. But not everybody is like that, and not just that, and we're seeing that more and more every day. But I think with him, it was a very ignorant take. He did come out and apologize. I think the only thing that I would say about what he said, where I can kind of understand where he was coming from, is that he was talking about the black community. I think that statement came out as a conversation about the black community, but I think in reality he was just defending his friends. So when it comes to the conversation, if you were to interpret it, I think all he was saying was that, hey, people are making fun of Lil Baby and calling him whatever because I gave him a hug and I was showing him love.
He said he felt responsible for that.
Yeah, and I think what he was trying to say is that, like, I just don't like when I'm scrolling through Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, or whatever, and people are making fun of this man, and I'm primarily seeing like people in his own community, you know, making fun of him. He's like, I think he was saying, I just don't like that. I probably explained it far better than he did in that moment. Michael Rubin is a person that admittedly hasn't read a book in like however many years. So, you know, don't expect him to be the most eloquent speaker, but there's no excuse for it. I'm just saying, I think that's what I heard from that. So I wasn't super angry or frustrated about it. I don't think it's, you know, for me, it's not nothing to get, you know, angry about. I just think that, you know, just blatantly, it's an ignorant statement. And I think that for anybody, I'm not making no judgments on nobody else's community. I wouldn't say judgments. I'm not publicly saying anything about nobody else's community because it's just not my place. I don't have a take on the Jewish community. I don't have a take on the Mexican community. I don't got a take on the Indian community, Asian, whatever. I don't have a take on nobody's culture because that ain't none of my business. Whatever y'all think is the issues in y'all community is y'all's to discuss.
Absolutely.
Whatever y'all think is the highlight, whatever is y'all's to discuss. You know, for me and my community, I can say whatever just because I'm part of, you know, the black community. But yeah, you're not gonna catch me out here just like, man, you know what's wrong about Jewish people, blah blah blah. It's just like, that's not my place to say that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I just mind my business.
What I do think too, what made it worse is the fact that he spoke to the nuances that affect the Jewish community, but those nuances were not reflected in how he spoke about black people. There's an overall system that is affecting black people, right?
You know why? Because he's Jewish.
Yeah.
You know, he's a visitor. You go in hip hop and hanging out with these people. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what happens is people become overly familiar with
Right.
black or hip hop culture,
Right.
and throughout time, people feel real comfortable. And the reason why I can say this definitively, because there are a bunch of other cultures that say nigga. You got no reason to be saying that, but you love black culture so much and you love hip hop so much, you've became so overly familiar with it that you calling your friends nigga ain't nobody black. Right? So
but you don't love the culture enough not to disrespect them, though.
You said what?
I said you don't love the culture enough not to
There
disrespect
you go.
them.
100%.
Yeah.
So I've had to tell somebody, hey, don't call me nigga, bro. Don't do that. And they're like, oh, my bad, bro. I don't mean it like to be racist or nothing. It doesn't matter how you mean it. If you actually understand the nuance of black culture, you would understand that you're a visitor. And it's no disrespect to you, but you're a visitor. You're not who you think you are. It's
Right.
like me trying to infiltrate a different culture. Like I'm like literally acting like I know more than I do when I do not.
Right.
You have to be careful. But he spoke to like, oh, there's a lot of hate going on towards Jews right now. I don't understand it. Like, it was this and that. So it's like, you can speak to that. That's fine. But for you to do that and be that tone deaf on the other side it's not okay. You're 52 years old. Also, I don't want to give him the excuse of he's probably not used to talking on a mic. Everywhere you are, you should show up as yourself. Everywhere you are, you should show up as the same way I am on this microphone every week. This is Eddie out in the real world, right? I show up as myself everywhere I go.
But there are things that you would never say publicly, though.
Yeah, there are things I wouldn't say publicly, but what I'm saying is there's a level of consistency to who I am.
Yeah.
So when I get on the mic, or regardless of what it is, this is who I am. I think that when it comes to him, he'll hear a lot of black rappers having this conversation like, man, they hating on me, man. This is bullshit, this and that, or they saying this about me. And it's like, bro, you are not around enough regular black people to have a take on black culture.
But I don't think I think that's where me and you are going to disagree. I don't think his take is from hanging around black people. His take is from looking at social media.
That's still not enough.
When you're looking at, I'm not saying that his take is correct. I'm just saying his take is evidence-based. Because he's talking about a thing that's gone viral online. It has nothing to do with like talking to black people in person. If you're scrolling through Twitter and you like, man, like the white party was lit, like, you know, it was crazy. And then you scrolling through Twitter, then you see DJ Academics like, oh, little baby, blah, blah, blah. And then you see another content creator reacting to this thing like, oh, little baby looking a little suspect. I don't know. The music is not doing as good as it used to. And you're seeing all these black creators. I don't think it's connected to him talking about or talking to Lil Baby, because he said Lil Baby is not fazed by it. So I don't imagine these people in their spare time are talking about niggas hating on me.
Yeah. Or I don't know. What I can say is I think this is why it's important to stop receiving images of someone else's culture online and actually get around people. Because I've had a conversation with somebody that told me that they had never had like black neighbors or anything. The only time they had seen black people was like on rap videos or playing basketball. And then when they finally seen a black person when they moved to Bakersfield, they just didn't see any images of black people except for on TV. Mm-hmm. So you got to realize how skewed your mind will be of who these people are when you meet them.
Yeah.
Right. So with him, I just don't understand where that take came from. The black on black thing is what fucked me up. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I would never you'll never hear me saying brown on brown crime, Asian on Asian. First of all, that's not real because it's a proximity thing. We've already talked about the stats. A white person is more likely to die at the hands of a white person, black person, Asian, whatever. Literally, it's statistically proven. I just think that statement in itself, it's so ignorant that it should have never came out of his fucking mouth. Especially a person that is a billionaire that has done a bunch of market research. It just shows how lazy you are and how you're not willing to actually look into the nuances of black people and you just say anything. This is not me painting him as a racist. This is me painting him as lazy as a motherfucker, and you're 52 years old and you're still doing this. If I'm 39 and I don't do this with other people, you have no fucking excuse. None. But you get to get away with it though, because if you just make an apology, you good.
Well, he gets to get away with it because he's a billionaire.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's going to tell him anything, you know?
Yeah.
If you extremely wealthy, you know, and you're not relying on any sort of thing. Maybe it, you know, I don't know. I think even if that, I don't think that was I think some of the stuff that Kanye West said was just far worse than this.
It's ignorant.
You know?
All I'm saying is this. When you say something ignorant about someone's culture, we've seen that the repercussions have been different. Like when Morgan Wallen got busted saying nigger on camera, right? He just came out, made an apology, and now his career is bigger than ever.
Right.
Now he's doing songs with motherfucking Lil Durk and Moneybagg Yo, right? All they had to do is give a raggedy apology. Bro, you old enough to know that you shouldn't be saying that shit. Mm-hmm. I don't use racial slurs in my pastime. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you get to just give an apology. But Kyrie Irving posts a link and lose his whole deal with Nike. Like, this is something we gotta that we need to really look at.
But his contract was already over.
Yeah.
He didn't get dropped. His contract, they didn't
renew it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but on top of that, the funny thing is a lot of these companies that stand on morality, right? They're like, Nike's like, you know, we don't endorse this, blah, blah, blah. But we do endorse child slaves that make our clothing for nearly no money, right? So that's the thing that's hilarious about it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like iPhone trying to come out and say, we give back to our community. But you basically got people in cobalt mines, little kids and fucking people dying in cobalt mines to get the products to make your phone. Mm-hmm. and your Teslas that are supposed to be so great, okay? I'm gonna get canceled before we even get started. But anyways, it's the truth. These cobalt mines, they need cobalt to get these and lithium for these batteries, and people are being exploited. But you don't talk about exploiting people, but you just don't want people either not. I won't even say speaking freely, because if you're speaking ignorant, you're just being fucking ignorant regardless, right? But you'll drop them, but not yourself for exploiting people.
Yeah, That's what happens when you own it. Yeah.
Yeah, when you own it, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I mean, Joe Budden didn't fire himself. He fired Rory and Maul.
I remember that day that fucking Joe Budden fired them and wasn't nobody sitting in there. He's like, fuck Rory and Maul. They supposed to show up to work. I don't know what's going on with them. And it's like, bro, the way you...
don't worry about showing up.
Yeah. He kind of spoke to them in a demeaning way. Yeah. But I think that now the more I look at it, it's like the liability is split more than people think. It ain't just like poor Rory and Maul. I think there was some things that they fucked up on too.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get the truth. I think everybody has a little bit of bias going on. I think that, you know, when you, I think ignorance played a role in that thing too. Because when you look at it, you hear people talking about money and resources being stolen and all this other stuff, and I don't know. I just think it's just. I think what it really came down to is people not really knowing their business. Yeah, and I think that's what led to, that dismantle. But Joe Budden is still up. He just got voted number 2 on the hip hop most influential, so he's not worried about Rory and Maul.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah,
that guy's a self-sufficient podcaster there.
Yeah,
some of his takes are terrible, but. I mean, come on. If he's speaking his mind, he's speaking his mind. I think sometimes Joe Budden is his like objective is hot takes.
I don't think so. I think he just is very blunt, and I think it sounds like that just because to me, I think he's being honest, because the hot take thing, I think that comes from like the Skip Bayless kind of thing going on. Like when you're on a sports show and you're worried about ratings and all that, I think that's kind of like what that, like when Skip Bayless is always talking negatively about LeBron, I just think that's a hot take. Yeah. You know, but I don't get that from Joe Budden.
He'd be like, Lotto will eat up Doja Cat like she will wash her. I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah.
But shout out to Joe Budden, I guess. Mm-hmm. All right, man. I don't know how much we got else to offer this. I would just tell people in general, I don't care how much time you spend around Mexican people or Jewish people or black people or whatever, you need to know when a conversation does not involve you. If there is something happening within that community that's very nuanced, you need to remember, as a black man, you are just a visitor in Mexican culture, or vice versa, or Jewish culture, whatever that may be. So it's like to be around that culture and to be friends or be immersed in that culture is perfectly fine. But you just got to have better restraint when it comes to just opening your mouth on certain shit.
Yes.
All right, let's move on. Switching gears. 2.9 billion records, including social security numbers, have been stolen in a data hack. This is fucked up, man. I think that it's kind of funny how we have to be model citizens, pay your taxes, pay your car insurance, pay this, pay that, make sure you register this and register that. But when they fuck up our shit, there is no penalty on them. We've all been exposed, man. This is fucked up. All right. Let me get into the article. An enormous amount of sensitive information, including social security numbers for millions of people, could be in the hands of a hacking group after a data breach and may have been released on an online marketplace. The Los Angeles Times reported this week the hacking group, US DOD, claimed it had allegedly stolen personal records of 2.9 billion people from national public data. According to a class action lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, reported by Bloomberg Law, the breach was believed to have been happened in or around April, according to the lawsuit. So we've been sitting around since April being exposed. Here's what to know about the alleged data breach. What information is included in the data breach? The class action lawsuit firm said in the news release that the stolen file includes 277.1 gigabytes of data.
God damn.
And includes names, addresses, histories, relatives, and social security numbers dating back to at least 3 decades. God damn. 30 years?
That's crazy.
My God, dude. Get out of here, man. You got my whole life. According to the Post, a cybersecurity expert on X, formerly Twitter, claims to be selling the 2.9 billion records for citizens of U.S., U.K., and Canada on the dark web for 3.5 million. That's breadcrumbs. Since the information was posted for sale in April, they selling our information. We getting pimped. At least pay me. Cut me in on a deal.
Yeah,
you want
let
to
me
take
get
my
some.
you want to take my shit, man? At least fucking give me some money, bitch. Anyways, since the information was posted this April, others have released different copies of data according to cybersecurity and technology news site Bleeping Computer. A hacker known as Finance leaked the most complete version of data for free on a forum in August, Bleeping Computer reported. Dude, this is disgusting. I mean, we're just being exposed. We don't have any, like, the moment you realize you're not in control, that's when you understand that's just how life is. You're not in control. The moment they gave you a social security number, like, you've been tracked the whole time. Everything's connected. Your phone number is connected to everything, your address, whatever the case. All I know is this. If you want to fix what happened and we got all of our information breached, right? Start us all over. Start us all over. We've all been breached, right? You've done nothing to rectify the issue. They've got our information for the last 30 years. So how about you stimulate the economy and give us all an 800 credit score? Just give us all an 800. Give us all an 800 credit score. And delete all the debt that we got. Just take all the debt off. But no, you want us to keep the debt. You want us all the stuff that we got that has been infiltrated by hacking. You want us to still keep it and figure it out ourselves when you fucked up. You want us to freeze our credit and all kind of shit. What if we're in the middle of getting a house? What if we're in the middle of a transaction? What if we're trying to get a car? And you want us to just freeze our motherfucking credit because you fucked up?
Right.
You can't tell me this shit is wrong, man. My goodness, dude. Give us an 800 credit score, man. Give us an 800. That'll give me a chance to get my shit back up because I do not have an 800 credit score right now.
I think I will say that to me, this is like par for the course.
Right.
Our information is everywhere already.
Absolutely.
You know, like I get spam calls every single day. Spam text messages, spam emails. Like this is all a, what do you call it? A byproduct of our information being leaked. You know what I mean? These our emails, our phone numbers, our social security, all this stuff there are these people out there, these genius level people out there that are sitting behind computers in a dark room or probably got friggin' Red Bull sitting next to them, and they're just their job or their high is to just hack into or try to hack into different things. Like, you know, even like I was saying, working at the schools, you realize that there are multiple layers of protection that these schools have. You know, you got to sign into certain emails, and you can't they don't have like a regular Wi-Fi that, you know, that anybody could just get on. You got to register through, you know, your certain emails. And even when it comes to our email accounts, like for the district, you can't even just, like, you know how you could just open up Yahoo?
Right.
Like you could just literally open the app. You don't have to sign in every time. Every time you log into the teacher account, you have to log in. You have to either use your Face ID or enter in your PIN. So this is like the type of security that these things have because they know it's very sensitive information. They know it's very sensitive emails going back and forth. They know that there are specific conversations about certain students and certain things that they're dealing with. Maybe they have certain cases that because maybe they've assaulted somebody and they're 15 years old, and it can't be, you know, when you get arrested when you're 15, they don't release all that information to the public. You know, like they'll say like a 15-year-old kid from like, for example, there was a kid that brought a gun to Centennial. He was maybe 17 years old. His name wasn't in the newspaper, you know. So these are the type of things that happen. But I say all that to say that there is people who are much smarter than the people. I wouldn't even say much smarter. I just think that it's a sport to them when it comes to, you know, hacking certain things and taking over Twitter and all this other stuff. It's a sport to some of these people, and they realize that they know how to take advantage of the situation. They know how to make sure it's not traced back to them. They know how to make sure that that they could just be walking around. Excuse me. And this happens not all the time, but I've watched this show, Mr. Robot, and you see how like these things kind of go. You see these hackers. It's just like the same way that we like watching football and like watching playing fantasy football and stuff like that is the same way they like trying to hack into different things. So I think that it's obviously not ideal situation. I know me personally, as much as I feel like my data is spread across the internet and my phone number is out there and everything, I haven't been in a situation where somebody is buying a house in my name or something like that.
Oh, because it's happened before. I've heard it. People buying houses and names. But this one lady busted the person that was getting a house in her name or whatnot, but they had made her credit better.
Yeah, that's what I want. If you gonna steal my stuff, at least make it better.
Hey, I'm gonna send you to jail and keep all your progress. It's like I'm starting a video game with your progress.
You got your expansion pack.
Yeah. I'm on Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm on level 50. I'm starting off at level 15. Fuck you. Go to jail.
But it was another big hack that happened a few years ago, and I forget the name of because they always use these different code names, but these people never get found. It's like I said, it's a game that they play. You got to think these are the kids that sit in high school. They might be a little weird. They just kind of walking around. They might be just kind of scrolling through their phone all day.
Developing a video game.
Yeah. And then one day they just kind of get curious about like, I wonder what it would be like if I hacked into, like Garces High School or whatever, Garces Memorial High School, and then they just freaking hack into it, and they just walking around like a normal person, and they don't never tell nobody, obviously, because they'll go to prison. But yeah, that's
and what's crazy is what's so crazy is I don't know how they get information. They'll be like, they'll find out, they'll hack a teacher, like the teacher. They'll see that the teacher got Bank of America or something, and find out how to get in her account, and like it's wild how they do it.
That's how. Remember the fappening? Do you remember that?
Oh, the celebrities.
Yeah, when they hacked all the iCloud, and it was a bunch of different celebrities. Basically sending nudes and stuff like that. Like that's these people, like I said, they never get caught. It's a different world, man. And if you see it a lot of times. This is a story I heard about my cousin. I don't know how true it is just because I feel like some stuff be kind of fabricated. But basically my cousin, I don't know if he was trying to hack into the Pentagon or something to that effect. But he was trying to hack into something, and then I guess they found out. Obviously, they found out, and I don't know I guess they came to the house. And this is what I'm hearing. Like I said, I don't know how factual this is. This is third party, fourth party information. They came to the house and basically offered him to an opportunity to come work with them, because they realize in a lot of those situations is, why would I throw this person in jail when they knew something that we weren't even being mindful of? So That's what I hear sometimes. Like if somebody tries to like hack into something, and if they see like they would be better served to work on their team, or if you say you hack into Facebook and you found out a way to turn everybody's screen pitch black or something like that, a lot of times Mark Zuckerberg will be like, yo, this dude is a genius. Like, I don't want to send him to prison. Let's figure out a way that we could work together, and you could work on our back end so that you can ensure that nothing gets hacked. So, yeah. But then they oftentimes have those people working there just so they, like I said, it's kind of like almost like practice. They're like practice squad people. They throw them in there. They figure out ways like, hey, try to get into this, try to get into that. And then you build in, firewalls and all that other stuff to where people can't get in there. But yeah, I would say too, I don't think the most talented people work for the government.
No.
I think the most talented people are probably working for other companies. And that's why you see people like Mark Zuckerberg when the government tried to tap in and like, hey, we need access to this from every iPhone user. They like, nah, this is my company. Like, you ain't gonna, you can't get this information.
It's the government. You're right. They're not very bright because the thing they did with TikTok, they had a bunch of old people talking about it. They didn't even know what they were saying.
Yeah.
They was like, so when you're using the tickety talk, what exactly is it that the Chinese are stealing from us? It's like, and the dude was like, remember the Chinese guy? I forgot where he was from, but basically he's like, we are not stealing anything. There's no information. All the information is right there.
Yeah.
And he was like, so exactly how much information do the Chinese have, that can be infiltrated?
I'm not going to say that that's a representation of the actual tech people at the government. These are just senators and
there you go
and congressmen and women.
Well, they shouldn't fucking be talking.
Yeah, but you got to think these is old oil tycoons from Texas. Like, they don't know nothing about no technology.
So first of all, my first question: are you Japanese or Chinese? That's my first question.
So what form of Asian are you again?
What breed of Asian are you?
What species are you again?
I just look. I'm not no racist. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, green, or orange. I just want to know now, like, exactly how many Chinese are stealing our information.
Yeah.
Do you have a range of that? There are no Chinese people stealing American information. Everything is right in the print. He's like, when you sign the disclosure agreement, you are guaranteed safety from being stolen from. And he's like, so we're guaranteed safety from being stolen from. But exactly how much is still being stolen? That's the question I'm trying to break this down for you, Mr. Chang, as best as I can. But it seems that we're having a language barrier. You're like, God. He's like, I speak English. I don't know why you say there's some type of English like barrier. Like, I mean, sometimes your accent could be a little difficult to maneuver around. There's a little bit of maneuverability that I have.
You got that Asian twang going on. Sometimes it's just hard to hear what you're saying, sir.
Like, I know you got a lot going on in China. I understand, and I'm very empathetic to what you've got going on here. But I'm for the American people, and to my belief, I see that the American people are being stolen from, and I'm here to represent my country. He's like, well, I was born in America, sir.
Well, my grandma used to always say, if the eyes are slanted, don't take it for granted.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Oh, man. My grandmother always told me, if they're Asian, change the station. Oh, man. Oh, my God. And this is where obviously this is satire, right? But this is how ignorant people are in the fucking government. It's like, so we understand. We're not saying that we're not trying to stereotype you as a black man. We respect you as an American, but at the time of the bank robbery, were you wearing Jordans? Did you have a pair of Jordans on? What do my shoes have to do with anything? Well, look, we just understand that shoe has been affiliated with crimes, and we just want to know if you were wearing Jordans. Were you wearing the Jordan 1s or the 3s? It's like I was actually wearing the 6s. Okay, the 6s have been synonymous with gangs. So are you from the Rolling 60s or maybe in the Pyrus? Is there any merit to that, what I just said? Oh man, it's so stereotypical.
How did we get here?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think that because it's stolen information, and we likened it to TikTok when there was a concern over them like stealing our identity or whatever.
Yeah, the only time I would say the congressmen and women and the senators and all them did a good job is when they was firing up that Secret Service girl. I forget her name, but when they was firing her up, they knew exactly the perfect questions to ask. But when it comes to technology, they just get mushy brains and they just don't know what to say.
Yeah. Recently, they just was lighting up dude from Boeing, the fucking CEO.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they was fucking him up.
Yeah, it's certain technology companies that they go in on. When Mark Zuckerberg and the dude from TikTok got up there, they couldn't. They was fumbling over their words
Yeah.
and they just didn't know what to say. So that's the point of those.
You got to understand, like guys like Mark Zuckerberg, like they're highly intelligent people.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna ask them questions, you got to realize like they got like a little mini computer in their brain, bro. Mm-hmm. Mark Zuckerberg probably know how to build a whole computer from scratch.
Yeah, he's super smart. I think that for the most part, those people are being very genuine. You know, I think the guy from TikTok is being genuine. I think that part of their algorithm, and their main goal, and I'm sure, and this is me knowing how businesses create their visions and business plans and stuff like that. They're generating from a space where I am a social media company. My main goal is to keep people on my app.
Absolutely.
So I can sell more ads. So, you know, as long as when the retention rates are high, I can charge more for advertising and just overall for the business. That's pretty much the only way we making real money. So same thing with TikTok. I just want people to stay on my app. So I require, you know, in the terms and agreements and stuff like that, I require a certain amount of information so that I can skew your algorithm to keep you on the app. So I think that that's the place. That's where I think it's coming from. There may be some more conspiracy theorists out there that think that Mark Zuckerberg is trying to take over the world. But I think that he is just trying to keep people on Instagram and Facebook as long as possible. Right?
Yeah. I think that there's a little steam starting to be lost on Instagram. I don't think there's anything else you can do to like reimagine that app. I think it's done.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I will say this though. Freaking recently, Jeff Bezos or Amazon just merged with TikTok Shop. That recently just happened. So now when you get things off the TikTok Shop, they could get delivered through Amazon.
Okay.
So Jeff Bezos is fucking. This is
Yeah,
why
Amazon is going crazy. But Amazon is not a social media, so that's where he can.
100%.
He got way more leverage to do that. I would say, if I were Mark Zuckerberg, I would have been trying to get into this sports, the sports world.
Sports betting?
No, not betting. I mean, maybe, but maybe TikTok. I think that's a TikTok type of thing. I think if they got in, you know, in the sports thing, the sports betting, because there are already a lot of creators that are on there doing that. But I think with Instagram, if they found a way to, what would you call it? Like how Amazon is playing Thursday Night Football. If there was a way where you can watch football, because they're already doing it. Just take it out of their hands. Because, you know, back in the day when the games would be blacked out and we couldn't watch the Niners games because the Rams moved to L.A.
Absolutely.
Because the people were on there, they just had their phone set up and we was watching it like.
They were streaming it. Yeah.
So if you just took that out of their hands and you realize there's a market for it and you just actually played the real games.
Fuck.
Because they got the resources to do it.
You giving them too many ideas, Keith.
Yeah.
Because if you put that on Facebook for like a small fee, oh my God.
Oh, it's a wrap.
It's
a
a
little
wrap.
sports package. Because we're already on. Already on there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That would be wow.
Yeah.
We're talking about like $1.99. Bro, because before, well, first of all, I'm not going to mention what we do now. Me and Keith have a way of watching every game we want. But anyway.
Yeah. Got a decent sports package.
But yeah, the best ones. But I used to go to freaking Facebook to watch the 49er games because somebody was streaming them. And it was the only way. I would have to watch it like from my laptop or pull my phone out because the punk-ass Rams once they moved to L.A., it fucked us over. They took all the Niner games away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's that.
You know, it's great. I don't see too many Chargers games on TV.
Yeah.
The Rams have definitely taken over.
Don't nobody love the motherfucking Chargers. Nobody.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're going to do. Okay. All right. We go ahead and wrap this thing up here soon. All right. Switching gears. Looking your age is okay. I think that there is a delusion on that social media has helped create in people and people are getting called out on it. There was this chick that's like, what's up, y'all? I know I don't look it, but I'm 38. And then people was like, you look 38. Like, you look 38. There's an obsession with wanting to look younger. Now, let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with preserving how you look. Whether you're using certain products and you're eating a better diet and you're doing all these things to preserve the, the collagen, whatever, right? That's fine. It's great. But people have a delusion that they look younger than they do, and you need to stop doing it. And also, too, you're almost like trying to coerce people into like believing that. Mm-hmm. Like, stop it. I seen I don't want to say no names, but she basically turned 40 and she was like, 40 never looked this good. And I was like, nah, I've seen better.
Yes, it has.
I've seen better. Yeah, I've seen 45 to look better. And it's subjective, but right, it's like me, I'm 30 adjacent. From the age of 30 to my age 39, that's how I look. Mm-hmm. I don't think I look 27. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because that's delusional to me, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I look 30 to 39. Mm-hmm. That is where I look. But there are some people that are 39 and they're like, yeah, I've been told I look like 27. I'm like, no. That was probably from some dude that wanted some pussy.
Right.
He lied to you good, too.
They'll say anything.
He's like, yeah, you look amazing. Yeah, I want to marry you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's go to a hotel. Yeah, men think with their dick so bad that their brain shut off and they will tell you anything.
No, that's true.
It is pathetic.
Yeah. I think that I've heard that before, like these people. I would say that sometimes it's hard to grasp that you're getting older. You start to look at yourself and you're like, dang, I'm getting some grays, or, my hair is thin, or, my face is a little more wrinkled than it used to be, or right. Things are sagging here and there. And it's hard to come to terms with, but I think there's beauty in getting older. And I think that as human beings, we should learn to embrace it, because I seen it once. I had this teacher training that I was doing, and the teacher trainings they're ran by currently and former teachers, basically, that are seasoned. They've probably taught for 20-something years or something like that. Now they're essentially like teaching teachers, whatever. So they had a situation where when you look at them visually, there are people, and you can kind of see it. These are people that probably don't want to come to terms with the fact that they're 45 now, or they're 49 or 50 years old, and you can see the tans and the hair extensions and the heavy makeup and all the just being very, very put together. So basically, there was one lady in particular who was part of this presentation team or coaching team, whatever, and I noticed something about her in particular, that there was like a weird thing going on with her eyebrow. Like, basically her eyebrow was like kind of on the edge of it. It was kind of like going up as she was talking. And it seemed a little bit involuntary, because it wasn't like she was like had this surprise or like a smile. It was just like just at the edge, it was going like up like this. And I was like, that's a little peculiar. Yeah. So fast forward, I just kind of kept that in the back of my brain. So I open up YouTube, and the first video I see is a video of Simone Biles. And Simone Biles is saying, when I turned 27, I decided to get a little bit of Botox, like, kind of in this area of her face. And she said that she just didn't really like how it went. And she said that there was times where she was practicing with her teammates and stuff, and her eyebrow would do this thing where it would go a little just randomly up like this. And she said her teammates would come to her and say, like, hey, Simone, your eyebrow's doing that thing again. So I realized that the teacher that was doing the training probably has gotten a bunch of Botox to try to keep everything tight. So that, kind of going along with what you're saying, it's a lot of people out there that just don't want to look the way they look. They don't want to be the age that they really are. Here's
the problem. First of all, I think Simone Biles is beautiful. Mm-hmm. First of all, But it's crazy to me that women are doing things to their face and there's nothing wrong with your face. What are you doing?
Yeah. She's young, too.
She's so young. There's nothing wrong with their skin. That Botox shit is for people that got wrinkles and shit. Let them do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Ladies, stop. You doing things to your butt. You already got a fat ass. Stop. Stop getting BBLs. Stop with the lip injection. Stop with all of it. You don't need it. Even, bro, I'm going to be honest. And I'm not shaming women with BBLs, but I got to be blunt. Even if you have no ass, I don't care. I'm at a man that is at a decent level of maturity, even if we like fat asses, because I love fat ass. I'm not going to lie. But even if she don't got a booty like that, I'm fine with that.
Right.
It's fine. Like, I like the woman. So truth be told, if her breast is small or she really ain't got no booty, that's okay.
Right.
You are how you are. Please stop trying to change it. And stop thinking that these surgeries make you look more youthful. They don't work. They don't work. They don't work. And
they make
also,
you look crazy, honestly.
They make you look crazy.
I've seen some that's like decent, like a little bit of here and there, and it's like, okay, that's like a subtle whatever, you know, to lift a little bit of sagginess on the neck or whatever.
Yes.
But for the most part, they go a little bit too far.
Absolutely.
Then you got this weird surprise look on your face.
Absolutely.
You can't really express how you used to be able to.
Your lips look stuck or overly inflated. I've seen that a lot. Another one too is I've seen some women get I've seen some BBLs that was actually like cool. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen some BBLs I'm like, oh, that's not bad. I'm not even gonna cap. But I've seen more way bad ones than good ones.
BBL Eddie.
Yeah. Anyways.
BBL Eddie.
All right, let me finish talking, man. Somebody said in the comments, I was busting up, somebody said BBL stands for be back later.
Dang.
Because people always go back for a second BBL.
They get more BBLs. I didn't know that. Excuse me. I didn't know that until I was listening to The Breakfast Club, and Jess Hilarious was talking about, she was like, yeah, I've only gotten one BBL. And I was like, wait, what? People get multiple BBLs out here? So, yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. But, yeah. I guess they don't get it right the first time, or they stop working out, or how do they end up going back?
I mean, you got to touch the BBL up, I assume. They got to make it more BBL-ish. There's some women that don't really have a lot back there, and they get a BBL where it's like it enhances like 25%, and it's like, wow, that looks natural.
Right.
They're not all BBL. Some women that get some of these surgeries is because they have sometimes a genetic thing that is so off that they kind of need an enhancement. Like there's some women who are very flat chested, which first of all, there's still nothing wrong with you, but they're so flat chested where they're like, I just want to get something, and they end up getting like B cups, and it just matches their body. Yeah,
some are dang near look like boys, you know,
and they want to get something, and I understand that, and it's okay, but I feel like cosmetic surgeries. And let me be clear, I'm not the gatekeeper to these cosmetic surgeries, but I think that there is a market for certain women. I think that there are women that are very flat-chested that they want to get breast implants. I think it's for them. Let them get it. It's some girl that really, she works hard in the gym. She works her ass off, and she still, because of her genetics, she can't really grow her ass. She got a nice body, but the booty flat. And they went and got a BBL, and they got a natural-looking one, and they look like it's really their butt for real.
Yeah,
that's what the cosmetic surgery for. But I hate to say it, the women that I've seen before, they get these surgeries done, and that's flat chested. They always get porn tits with the titties way out here. It's like,
yeah,
man,
it's big O's.
It's like man, if you want to look like a porn star, go ahead, go ahead. I'm sure a lot of guys will have no problem looking at that. But ultimately, a lot of these women end up getting them taken out. They end up taking them out.
They get sick and stuff.
Before I continue to say anything else about women, let me be very motherfucking clear. If there was a comparable surgery for men, it would be a bunch of dudes out here with 12-inch dicks. It'd be a bunch of dudes out here getting dick surgeries, bro. Because the amount of BBLs we're seeing that are like rampant, it would be worse. Because I don't know who's more uncomfortable with their body, men or women. I don't know who's more uncomfortable.
I mean, we see more surgery from women.
We do, but there's no penis surgery. If there was penis surgery, it'd be motherfuckers out here with 12 inches, man.
Nah, but women get more than just.
Yeah, it's true.
They get They get everything.
Everything.
You know,
Lips.
Botox and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But I think for men, I don't see. I see men wanting to be taller, but I don't see men running and getting the leg extension thing.
Not as much, but they are getting that motherfucking hairline. A lot of men are getting their hair done.
Yeah.
A lot of men is getting they getting scalped out there in Turkey.
Yeah.
They coming back with a straight scalp. I would never get a fake hairline. I'm good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm good. I will continue to cut my hair off. I'm bald underneath this hat, and I'm fine with that. But it's a little different for me because I've been cutting my shit off since high school.
Yeah.
So it's like
some people I see doing it. I think for me, I would probably do it. I think that when I see,
please, you would never have to do it.
You just never know, man. But I see a lot of it with celebrities.
Yeah.
Like even like a Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber can't be bald. You know what I mean? Like he can be bald just because he's a little older now. But just as far as like a presentation, he got to look a certain way. So when I see certain things like that, I'm like, oh, okay. Like some of these celebrities are getting a little touch up here and there because they realize that they can't, it's part of their look. It's part of, just the same way they gotta be in decent shape and stuff like that for tours. Their hair they gotta look a certain way too. So I don't know, but yeah, the people definitely going to Turkey. I don't think the celebrities is going to Turkey. But I think the poor men are going to Turkey.
No, some people going. What's his name? Well, he's not rich. That dude T-Rail.
He went to Turkey.
He went to Turkey to get his hairline.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know, but I don't think because they have the celebrity watch. I don't think all them celebrities is going to Turkey. I think some of them is probably going to Miami because they have the surgeries here in America.
Yeah, some of them going to Turkey. Some of them going to gravy.
All right.
They pouring straight hot molten gravy on their head. Like, this shit ain't growing my hair, man. This is hot. It's burning my head.
Yeah.
Nigga put a slice of turkey on your head and tell you to walk out. Give me $5,000. I think the hairlines don't look as natural, too, when they get them done.
Some of them, I've seen some that look really good. I will say, though, I would say there are situations where people have just been like gone bald, alopecia or whatever. But there are some situations, like I know a student even he's been losing his hair since he was younger. And I think that surgery is perfect for somebody like that because they never really had a chance. They've been, kind of dealing with hair issues their whole life. But if you could bring because this kid like 15 years old, like he got no business going bald at 15, but that's just the way his genetics is set up.
Oh yeah.
So if you could save somebody, save up some money, send him over there on Christmas break, get him right. Like, I think that something like that would be dope. But yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be fucked up, man, to lose your hair at 15. I didn't start like my hairline didn't start going back till 25.
25?
Yeah, but when it happened, I was just like, I'll just cut it back off because I went to the barber and edged it up, and I just noticed like on the sides it was like thinner. And it was taking longer to grow back, and I was like, okay. And it was weird as I got a spot on my head where hair grows back super fast. Like it's like a spot on the back of my head where the hair just fucking comes back in 2 days, and the rest of my hair is growing slow. I'm like, what the fuck? It's weird, man. It's like, I guess you know how when you brush your hair, there's always a spot where the hair starts. You know what I'm talking about? It's like the hair comes from there. That's the part that grows the fastest on my head. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, hair is interesting, man. So I think that now that's the turkey thing, I think that's the new thing. But I could imagine, because when early 2000s, it was plugs.
Oh yeah,
they would just do the plugs or whatever. But now. Yeah, and then after that they did the scars. So they would take a chunk out of your head and then put it, whatever. But now it's not. It's like it's just the way we talked about the Achilles injuries, where it's just technology. couple little scars and they good. So I can only imagine in 2024, by 2030, it's gonna be like. You ain't never gonna see no bald-headed people. It's probably gonna be something so smooth, something like over the, something I don't know that is just not. It's not even as crazy where you could just go in a quick little procedure and then you walk out and you got an afro. So
man,
yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, man. Well, look here, man. It's okay to look your age. Don't live in a delusional social media world where you think everything has to look demure. You guys are abusing that fucking word now. If you look your age, it's fine, man. Getting older is a blessing. Embrace it. Okay. That's all I've got on this. Anything else you got, Keith?
Nope.
All right, man. Well, if you made it to the end of this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
And we're out of here.
Peace.